So we've come up with the cold sear. One pan, one and done. Your steak's gonna be perfectly juicy. It's not gonna be overcooked on the outside. It's really easy to do. So I'd almost say this is the easiest and best way to cook a steak. Cold pan. Carbon steel is what I like to start with. Do it with anything. I've got a little bit of fat in the pan, but it's cold. I got my steak. I'm gonna use a filet in this case because it's easily gonna show you the different layers of color or the lack thereof. I'm salting it right now on both sides, heavily, okay? Pan is off, steaks in the pan, turn on the heat.
And what, like high heat? Are we going high?
Medium, high heat.
Medium?
Medium, high heat.
Okay.
Yep. So now it's gonna start steaming a little bit. It's gonna come up to temp, we're gonna flip it. We're gonna flip it 2 times on each side, 4 times total. And then we're going to pull the steak, we're gonna put it on this plate, we're gonna dry it, and then we're gonna bring the temperature of the pan all the way up to high, and then we're gonna finish it in the pan. So you see how it's kind of similar to the reverse sear?
It's because with the reverse sear, you start off in the oven and all that stuff, except we're starting off in a cold pan.
Exactly. I do not start my steaks with freshly ground black pepper because it has the tendency to burn over the high heat, and that creates a bitter flavor. I finish with freshly ground black pepper. Freshly ground.
Why are you having a hard time saying that?
Okay, so here we go. It's starting to come up. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. As mentioned, we are gonna flip this 4 times total. So from cold to this point, it's been 2 minutes. We're gonna do our first flip. Gray and ugly. And it even sticks to the pan a little bit, okay? That's okay. So now we'll probably do, I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit lower, and we'll do maybe a minute on this side. We'll flip it, we'll do a minute on that side, we'll flip it, we'll do another minute. So on a 1.5 to 2 inch, what do you think? Maybe 1.5 inch fillet or ribeye or any cut.
So it's like 5 minutes total.
Yeah, if you're shooting for,
okay.
It is 5 minutes total if you're shooting for about rare to mid-rare. This process also works if you do want to cook your steak well done. It's actually going to help retain more moisture in the steak, even if you are eating it medium well to well done. No judgments here. Weirdos. One thing to mention, I'm using a carbon steel pan, which is essentially a cast iron. It's just a little bit lighter and more durable. If you're using a seasoned cast iron or carbon steel, you'll have no problem in the initial cold sear stages. If you're putting this into a cold stainless steel pan, like an all-clad or any other stainless steel / aluminum, you're gonna wanna use more fat so that it doesn't stick during that cold searing process. So really smother the steak with either whole butter, tallow, extra virgin olive oil in the pan, or avocado oil. Use double the amount that you otherwise would have normally used, because you can pour it out in the next stage of this cooking process. We're on our 3rd flip right now. We're gonna flip it 1 more time, and then we're gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull the steak out. I'm gonna let it sit on this plate. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe the fat out of this pan while it's hot, okay? You can leave some of the brown pieces on there still. I'm gonna let this steak sit and rest for a minute. 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes total, all right? Now look, this is ugly. It hasn't developed Maillard browning on the exterior. The inside is still virtually raw, but we're gonna change that pretty quickly. This is the stage at which I will dry this steak, okay? Because it's just fat on the exterior of the steak at this point, and we're gonna add more fat anyways. I've dried this. I got the pan now cooled down. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blast the pan now over high heat. I'm gonna add some fat. I've got a little bit of olive oil. I want this to get right to the point of hard smoke on the pan. Wisps of smoke are coming up. The pan's heating all the way through. It's already got some residual heat in there, so it's not gonna take that much time. Just be careful, because some of the brown bits that are left on the bottom of the pan, they could burn. So you are gonna need to throw the steak on top of that, because we want those brown bits almost to stick back to the steak themselves.
And then with this one, are we doing the flipping every 30 seconds, or we're just gonna let it sit?
So on this one right now, I wanna take this because it's filet to rare, so I'm just gonna let it go high and hard on one side for about a minute, minute and a half, kiss the other side, pull it. If I was doing a ribeye, or if I was doing a flat iron that I wanted to take maybe to like a mid-rare to medium, or somewhere in that little window, then I might do the sear flip, sear flip. It's up to how long you wanna cook it. So the longer you wanna cook it, the higher the temp, the more you flip it. Look at how beautiful that is.
Wow. Okay, that's really pretty. Okay, that thing is driving me
This
insane.
thing's annoying me, so I'm gonna-
Get it out of there.
There we go.
Okay, that looks gorgeous.
Yep.
And so this will be really quick. We'll take it off,
Yep,
let it
I'm gonna
rest.
go another
cut
45
it.
seconds. We're gonna put it
Okay.
on the cutting board, call it a day. So first of all, look at how beautiful this exterior is on that. That's a beautiful Maillard browning process. And then second of all, I added chives while the steak was resting because the oils and the aromatics from the chives will be absorbed slightly and perfume the steak as it's cooling. So I always add things while it's cooling. I've talked about this at length. I did not add butter because I want this to be a clean taste test, and I want Lauren and I to really be able to taste the difference on this steak for what it is, steak only.
And we can add some salt and pepper, right?
Yeah, add some salt and fresh cracked pepper.
All right, let's do this just a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect.
So the key as I'm looking at this steak is I got the beautiful brown exterior, okay? It doesn't go too deep into the steak. The deeper that this brown right there, and you can see it closely where I'm pointing, that browning, the deeper that goes, the drier the steak is on that bite. Now it changes color a little bit right there on the gradient, but it doesn't go deep into the steak. So that's the beauty of this cold searing process is that you still get this beautiful bite of meat in there. Let's give this a try too and see the flavor on there. All right, cheers.
I'm gonna get a little piece.
Okay, you got a smaller mouth. There you go. It's so tender doing it that way. You don't get that dried out exterior that you get
Super
from
tender.
a hard, high sear.
I'm shocked.
A lot of times people freak out because they think, oh my God, I didn't get the pan hot enough before I seared it. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Go on, throw it in a cold pan, slowly bring it up to heat, pull it from the pan, then get the pan up to a really, really high heat, understand your heat and what you're working with, then you finish it at the end that way. It gives you so much more runway to perfect the steak without having that only one opportunity to get the sear initially when you're bringing it up at the high heat in the beginning.
Great tip, baby.
Thanks, thanks.